Hey guys, it's Sin from Reddit Mutiny, back with another video. This time we'll be doing a war recap of the war we had last weekend. It was against Reddit Demons, as you can see. We beat them 71-63, but the war was actually really close up till the final hour. I believe it was still tied at the last hour point, but we had the advantage in terms of number of 3-stars. And it was really close to the end because both sides' attackers were actually choking quite hard. But yeah, we'll show them the respect of what they did to our bases. As you can see, Town Hall 9 was 3 and below. It looks like we have 2 Town Hall 10s, but in reality, Floyd and Teddy just hit Town Hall 10, and they had no Town Hall 10 offense upgraded, and they made it a point to not put down any of their Town Hall 10 traps. So in essence, they're actually just Town Hall 9s. And as you can see, both sides did not manage to clear all their Town Hall 9s. So Town Hall 9s are a challenge again, man. They're no longer an afternote to the Elite War. Town Hall 9s, there's a need to build good bases now, and it's not just about 6-starring your opponents and praying that the Town Hall 10s do well. And here's our results on their side of the table. We actually could have cleared all their Town Hall 9s if we were more conservative of our attacks, because as you can see, we actually 3-starred every Town Hall 9 in their top 10, and it was actually just 2 trick bases that we ran out of attacks on: number 15 Trumpinator and number 19 Nos Zombie. Actually, Trumpinator is an alt of Nos Zombie, I've learned, and yeah, kudos to him for building 2 bases that held up against our attacks. So without further ado, let's check out the attacks for this war recap. And the first attack I'll be featuring is an attack by LKY, one of our co-leaders, on Lord Pyralt on number 4. Let's check it out. So it is a stone Goho with some back-end loons. This is a typical weakness of most anti-3 bases that are a bit too open. Because the base wants to be pretty open to have quite a few fake bomb spots and dead zones, it tends to have quite a few point defense that's out of AD cover range. So just having a few loons to snipe them for free is a very nice trade. These bases often also have really tight intersection points, like the ones that LKY just opened with his earthquakes, and that really opens up a large portion of the base, which makes a stone kill squad really good. So he releases all 3 of his golems here and his kill squad, 3 more wizards to back them up, and this was a fresh hit, and it was really fortunate that his kill squad went straight into 2 Teslas. That's really good value there while the golems are still up. And unfortunately for him, his king gets ahead of his golem and starts tanking. So he's forced to use the king ability fairly early, drops the rage for his wizards and his queen. And as you can see, his kill squad just tripped both bombs, and his queen's starting to take quite a bit of damage. And sensing that his kill squad is petering out, sends his hogs in to ensure that his queen is safe. Queen locks on to the CC golem, and he starts reinforcing his hogs. There's actually a hole in the base between the AD and the Expo, and he drops a barbarian just in time to pop the bomb before his hogs go through. Drops a heal to negate the single bomb, but he actually doesn't take out the queen in time. So the queen takes out quite a bit of hogs. His queen finally makes it there, uses the ability to get rid of the defending queen, and the rest of his hogs go in, but thankfully most of the base is already done. The last 3 point defenses were planned to be taken care of by the balloons. His balloons were a bit late. Ideally, he would have taken them out by now so that his hogs wouldn't have to take a redundant path. But he has ample time. His wizards and queen are still up. So now it's just cleanup. Let's just fast forward this. This was also the only fresh hit 3-star in their top 5 Town Hall 9s, I believe. So really good job, LKY. Then the next attack will be by Mr. Park on number 6, Stewie. It is a Go Vaho. drops his first golem, drops his wizards to create the funnel. Queen in the middle, starts taking out stuff. He's using his queen as also part of the funnel creation process. He's creating a very nice wide funnel so that the Valks will go straight to the middle, the town hall compartment. Drops his second golem and starts creating the other side of the funnel. Drops his jump, and once the elixir collector goes down, drops his Valks and king. Very nice funneling there. So he knew that there was a Tesla farm there, so drops his heal in anticipation, drops the poison to slow the P.E.K.K.A down. And the Valks completely chew through the P.E.K.K.A. Drops the jump so that the Valks and king engage the defending royals. Drops another heal. Good choice there. He probably should have dropped a poison on the royals as well, which would have saved him quite a bit of damage. Surgical hogs start going in from the other side. And just some balloons to take out the free mortars. Even though the mortars aren't very threatening to hogs, it's still pretty good to take them out with one loon each. It helps a lot with the hog pathing. Avoids them having to path out to take the mortar and path back in. And as you can see, the base is done, and the rest is just cleanup. So let's fast forward this. Alright, so the next attack is actually an attack done by me, and it's pretty much a pure air army, as you can see. I noticed that there was an offset CC, and from the scout that we knew that it was a CC that didn't really hit air. It only had one wizard inside, and I believe it was a P.E.K.K.A. So I did a double zap quake to expose the queen chamber to dragons. Use minions to create the funnel on the top side. I knew that there weren't any storages or anything in the top compartment, so everything inside the compartment was very vulnerable to my heroes, which were pretty big. So I dropped both my heroes on the top compartment. I hit my king ability really early because I knew he would be tanking the Teslas and the Expo, and he manages to take out quite a lot. In the meantime, dragons take out the queen. King has done his job. Queen locks onto the Expo. Dragons are doing a good job of taking out the queen chamber. Queen takes out the Expo, and I start the Laloon portion of the attack. Because I was focused on the Laloon, I actually missed my queen ability, and soon you'll see the king take her out really shortly. But really patient on my Laloon deployment, and the wizard comes out. My loons converge onto the AD, and the pups actually take out the wizard. And everything looks good right now. My dragons are still on cleanup. I still have one lava hound for the last AD, which is taking damage already from the pups. And as the last lava hound pops, everything is converging onto that AD, and it's just cleanup left. I didn't notice there was a gold storage on the right side. This was why I deployed my last loon onto the gold storage on the left. If I knew it was there, I'd probably deploy on the right side. But yeah, this is a very common weakness that a lot of NP3 bases right now have, and it's very good to exploit. A lot of bases nowadays build against Goho and Valks, so they're actually pretty vulnerable to air, as you can see in quite a few attacks that we did this war. The next example will be from Sumac, who did a hit on Papi Chulo on number 8. And again, Sumac bringing the air attack. This is a cold-blooded Laloon. It's really great for these kind of island bases where the queen and one AD can be found in a pretty isolated compartment. This, I believe, was also a fresh hit. He did a loon lure on the CC to test if there was anything that could hit air. and he confirmed that there was only one wizard in there as well. And he launches his golem and wizards to start creating a funnel. Drops his queen. Once the funnel's created, drops his jump spell, drops his king, and his king starts moving towards the queen. Once his king starts taking fire, pops the ability, takes out the queen, takes out the AD, and that's basically job done for the kill squad. But in this case, they also get a bonus archer tower and possibly an expo as well. Starts the Laloon portion of the attack. Really nice that he attacks 180 at a time. The sweeper actually does quite a bit of work against his loons, but thankfully his loons make it just in time. He has quite a lot of spells for his loons, so he can just haste rage his way the entire way through. His loons take out the final sweeper, which should make the process a lot smoother. Black bombs help the lava hound pop, and the base is done. So as you can see, air can be a pretty good anti-meta option right now. It's partially due to base layouts not really accounting for air attacks as much as hogs and valks, and is also in part due to CCs, a lot of popular CCs post, which are high HP units, not able to hit air, like for example Valks, P.E.K.K.A.s, Hounds, and Golems. So the double poison spell that Clash of Clans went through actually caused a lot of CC changes that really made air a lot more viable, even though air didn't get any direct buffs as well. So just to further the point, Sphinx's attack on David at number 9. The scout attack revealed that the CC also didn't have anything to hit air, so since the queen was offset and pretty exposed, Sphinx just brought a penta and a jump spell for his heroes to go in for the queen. Creates the funnel. Queen gets the aggro of the king, and the king goes in, takes out the queen, and he starts his attack. When the CC is not functional and the ADs are fairly spread out, there's pretty much nothing a base can do against a penta. So that's when you're filling up your CCs, you kind of have to bear that in mind. If you're putting something in that doesn't hit air, you're pretty much opening yourself up to a penta on the cleanup if your base layout allows it. So it's something that people need to be more very wary about. So let's just fast forward this. The golem might actually end up eating quite a bit of time from the lava pups, but it's fine. Great job, Sphinx. Okay, let's just end this with a ground attack and a Town Hall 8 one as well. This attack was done by Bordon24 on Nostrum on number 25. Your typical Town Hall 8 anti-3 kind of war base, core, king, and double giant bomb set. So Bordon does a maxed Goho at Town Hall 8. He brings a really big kill squad, 2 golems, CC witches, and his king, and a few wizards to go all the way to the core and get the king as well, to get the king. So creates this funnel nice. Patience wizards to take out all the side buildings. Unfortunately, the CC goblins come out quite early and take out his last wizard, but his witches got the last hit on the spell factory. Drop his rages for his witches and his wizards. As you can see, he drops 1 hog to take out the archer tower. Really patient deployment there, because the hog isn't taking any damage, so there's no point in adding more hogs there. As his kill squad progresses and is taking out more and more traps, he starts deploying 1 hog each on the mortar and the wizard tower. This gets even more value out of it. His kill squad starts engaging the enemy king. And at this point he knows that his kill squad will get the double giant bomb set, so he starts reinforcing his hog stream. His kill squad pops the double giant bomb, and he just starts sending hogs all over the base. He has 1 heal left, uses it for the Tesla farm. And finally some hogs for the back end. So this base has been completely demolished using just level 1 golems and a level 6 king. So the only main component you really need for this kind of an attack are level 4 hogs and level 5 wizards. So for the lower Town Hall 8s where your troops aren't that advanced, you don't have max golems, max king, don't feel discouraged. You can actually still pull off advanced attacks like Goho. But you probably need to be a bit sharper because your lower troop levels means you have a lesser margin of error. But yeah, good job, board on. Okay guys, so that was our war against Reddit demons. I hope you guys enjoyed it and possibly learned something from it. Personally, I felt from the air attacks this war, the takeaway for me was that we really need to be more mindful of our CCs now, and is simply a pretty good meta game option against the current state of the game, where people are building bases primarily against ground attacks. So hope you guys enjoy it, and see you guys next time.